Alright everyone, a huge welcome to Thursday's video. A huge thank you to the many of you who have subscribed to the channel this week. I believe we've gone up about 250 subs this week alone, and really trying to get to the big 10,000 as soon as possible. And still more than half of you watching these videos who haven't subscribed apparently. So, you know, it costs you nothing and allows these videos to reach more Celtic fans like you. So while the intro sting is playing, why don't you go and subscribe? And I promise you'll be back in time for me rabbiting on. Okay, 3 days out from our big league opener against Kilmarnock. We'll be finding out all about them on tomorrow's video. However, today is all about Celtic. We've got an update on Adam Idah. I bet you're just buzzing for that. It's just such a riveting story, isn't it? It's just brilliant stuff. I can't get enough of the Adam Idah chat. We've got reaction to a couple of Sky Sports interviews yesterday. One with Neil Lennon. Nope. One with Rodgers, one with Alistair Johnston. The reason I've got Neil Lennon on my head is there's a strange story about him at Rapid Bucharest going around. So we're going to chat about that at the end. Right, let's start with the Adam Idah stuff. The headlines that you'll be seeing today is stuff like Adam Idah Celtic move imminent with striker in line to make second debut in Premiership opener. A few of the big outlets in Scotland reporting this late last night, and it all seems to come back to phrases like sources down south or Norwich sources. It seems pretty clear that people close to Norwich City, close to the Adam Idah situation down south, seem to think that we're inching towards some sort of conclusion to this, and he's going to be signing for Celtic. And it's an interesting addition that people think that he could sign as early enough to actually play a part this Sunday. I'll say it right now, I will be stunned if Adam Idah is in the matchday squad on Sunday. I've got a terrible record with predictions though, so you might just be thanking me for saying that. It's obviously promising news. It comes after the update that we spoke about yesterday on the channel, the fact that he'd missed the Norwich plane going to Austria on Sunday. Their manager wasn't very happy about that. He's facing some sort of disciplinary action at Norwich, but obviously that's not going to be the case if he comes to Celtic. It seems very much like that is going to be the case. I think there's been reports that he's made it clear to Norwich as well that he wants to come to Celtic. It's like the worst kept secret, the fact that Adam Idah actually wants to sign for Celtic. I mean, you hear stories about him still being in the Celtic WhatsApp chat, and it was brought to my attention last night that his Instagram profile picture is still him in a Celtic shirt. It kind of tells you that he's certainly keen to join the club. So I've kind of thought this is going to be the case the whole way through the summer. It would just be nice to get it done. So please, Celtic, get it done. Brendan Rodgers actually spoke about this yesterday in the Sky Sports interview that we're going to come on to, and you can stand by for some truly staggering, enlightening quotes. I really hope you're sitting down for these. Adam's a Norwich player. He obviously did fantastically with us last season, and we'll just see what happens over the coming weeks. Yeah, Brendan Rodgers obviously playing the game here. Let's just hope we've got some news on Adam Idah, and by news I mean an official signing before too long, before we all lose the will to live. Just in terms of this interview, as I say, the quotes are from an interview Brendan Rodgers gave to Sky Sports. They're doing their usual thing, I think anyway, of going round all the Premiership teams and pretending they care about every team in the Premiership when in reality they only care about ourselves and that other mob, Hearts, I think they're called. They've obviously got our game this weekend on Sunday. They were at Lennoxtown, spoke to Brendan Rodgers, spoke to Alistair Johnston. In terms of Brendan Rodgers, he was asked about the key issues, the ones that are going around at the moment. Again, just totally mind-numbing subjects. Why at the moment is every Celtic subject totally boring? Honestly, man, like, you've got the Adam Idah situation, which I know I talk about it because it has to be spoken about, but like, it's just horrendous. Everyone's at their wits' end with it. Paulo Bernardo is even worse. It's been even more of a saga because we've known he's been signing for about 2 weeks and he still hasn't officially been signed. What's the other one? Oh yeah, Matt O'Reilly, like, leaving. It's just like totally mind-numbing. Please give us like some sort of good topic to talk about. Anyway, Matt O'Reilly stuff. Brendan Rodgers says it's been straightforward with Matt O'Reilly because he's a great professional. He says that no player will be allowed to leave Celtic until the right valuation is met by another club, which, you know, I would hope would go without saying, but it's good to hear it said anyway. He says that he thinks other clubs can sometimes value Celtic players based on the league they play in rather than the player themselves. We know that there's been several bids for Matt O'Reilly already. There was some last season, wasn't there? There was one in January, one, I think it was Leeds last summer as well. This summer we've had, certainly Atalanta have had at least 2 bids, I think Southampton as well. And it's clear that the valuation has not been met yet, and it seems way off. I think it's pretty clear Matt O'Reilly isn't going to be sold until Celtic receive what we think he's worth, and I think it's pretty obvious that we value him at like between 25 million and 30 million pounds. So until that fee is paid, Matt O'Reilly won't be going anywhere. So yeah, that's as I say, a truly riveting situation. Rodgers also confirmed that Paulo Bernardo will be announced soon. He's kind of mentioned stuff like medical. He said that he was hoping it would be announced in hours or something to that effect. That obviously hasn't happened yet. Maybe today is the day for Paulo Bernardo. A couple other bits I picked out from the manager, a few interesting lines. You cannot snooze in this game of football when talking about strengthening the squad and not standing still. On our general transfer business, everyone would love to get their work done as soon as they can. We'd love to have had everything done for the first game of the season, but that doesn't necessarily always end up being the case. But for me, my hope is that we can be much stronger coming out the August window than what we finished last season. A lot of people jumping on his use of the word hope there, for, you know, whatever reason, suggesting that that's already gone down a notch from him saying definitively we will be stronger. I think we're at danger of just over-analysing everything he says at this stage. My takeaway was him there saying that he hopes that the squad will be much stronger coming out the window than how we finished last season. So I think that's very obvious what Brendan Rodgers wants. He wants the squad to be a lot stronger. At the moment, is the squad a lot stronger than how we finished last season? No, it's much weaker, I would say, given a couple of the players that we've lost, Idah and Bernardo, at this stage. So work has to be done, and we're now into August. We've only got 1 month left to do this. I'm hoping that Paulo Bernardo and Adam Idah will be announced over the next week, and then we'll have still the majority of August to go after a first choice left back, a first choice left centre back, a winger who can at the very least vie with Diaz and Maida on that left hand side, potentially playing the other side as well. Obviously, Mikael Ange Balikwisha is the main name we've heard so far, but it could be someone else. And hopefully keep Matt O'Reilly as well. I think if all of those things were to happen, I think it would be viewed as a really positive window. So it's still possible, but so far it's not exactly been great stuff from the club, has it, in terms of transfers? It's been very slow. There's no sense of urgency at all in anything that we do transfer-wise, but you know all that. Alistair Johnston as well spoke to Sky Sports yesterday. His interview was just 3 questions. still went on for over 3 minutes. The guy can talk and talk and talk like no footballer I think I've ever come across. I hope he's lined up for some sort of hosting a talk show when he finishes playing, or at the very least a career in punditry, because he's built for that kind of thing. It is great though in comparison to other players who you can barely get a word out of. Getting an answer for like a minute about the most mundane subject is really good, and I always enjoy listening to him because he kind of gives away wee things. Alistair Johnston, a bit like Matt O'Reilly as well. They're my two favourite players probably to listen to, in terms of the things they kind of reveal. Maybe from a club's point of view they reveal a little bit too much at times, but as a fan I love it. Having said that, there's nothing major to come out of Alistair Johnston's mouth. I did enjoy him saying that he thinks Kasper Schmeichel can maybe prove people wrong a little bit, and it was that way he said that, and I'm kind of thinking, hope you're not digging yourself a little bit of a hole here, and kind of making out that Kasper Schmeichel's been struggling recently, because I don't think that's been the case. But to be fair to Alistair Johnston, he totally qualified what he was saying, and he was basically making the point that a bit like Joe Hart, Kasper Schmeichel's kind of been out of people's sights and out of people's minds over the last couple of years because he's been away with Nice in France and Anderlecht in Belgium last year, which I guess is a fair point. I mean, if you'd asked me, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, who's Kasper Schmeichel playing for right now, I would have known he'd been at Nice. I would probably have said, yeah, he's at Nice. I had no idea he'd gone to Anderlecht and played a full season there. So I think Alistair Johnston's point was he's kind of gone away a little bit. And maybe some people think that he's past it, a wee bit like, well, certainly how people felt about Joe Hart. And Alistair Johnston thinks that Kasper Schmeichel will be a really good signing. And I happen to agree with that point. So, yeah, great stuff. By the way, well done to Alistair Johnston on being named in the official Copa America team of the tournament. When you look at the other players to join him in the team, it's not bad that we have a player, Celtic have a player in that team. Few recognisable names there. The likes of Lionel Messi, Lautaro Martinez, James Rodriguez, Christian Romero, etc. And his patter on the tweet, my Spanish isn't the best, but looks like a decent 11. So yeah, I think everything's good in Alistair Johnston's life right now. He's had a really good summer playing with Canada, done really well at that tournament. Things are good there. He's just got engaged as well a couple of weeks ago, and now he's going into a new season with Celtic, injury-free and ready to go. I think he's going to have a massive season. We're kind of waiting on that because last season he finished it really well, but had injuries. He started the season injured, didn't he, and kind of struggled at times. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him this season. Won't win Player of the Year because it will go to like an outstanding attacker. Usually does. Probably like Kyogo or Hatate or O'Reilly if he stays. But I think he'll be in the discussion for Player of the Year. Might be like the underrated player. So I think he's going to have a great season. Now, just finally, a strange story that's emerged concerning Neil Lennon at his new club, Rapid Bucharest. He's been there for a couple of months at this stage. A report from an outlet called 1923 in Romania has accused Lennon of deep disrespect in his new job. Now, these accusations have been summed up by well-known Romanian football journalist Emanuel Rosu on Twitter. He says, tough time for Neil Lennon at Rapid. The manager is accused of having urinated on the training pitch during a session this week. Club firmly denies info, but pressure is mounting considering displays and results haven't gone his way. Accusations regarding Lennon's behaviour are unconfirmed but already circulating on Rapid medias massively. The 1923 article also mentioned Lennon and his coaches making a trip to a local brewery before training one day. Now, Rapid did put out this statement on their Facebook page last night, denying what they call an unproven attack. They say, Neil Lennon is a professional with a track record that should make any Rapid fan proud. His mentality brought to the club an immense desire for evolution. There was absolutely no time when he was anything but professional. Thus, we debunk the rumours that describe him and his staff acting inappropriately during training. So yes, interesting times for Neil Lennon at Rapid Bucharest. They are denying what's been said about him, but certainly some big allegations about Neil Lennon's professionalism that he won't be happy about. 2 draws and a loss to kick off their league season. He's not going to be happy about that either. Ben Siegrist out there with them as well at this stage. So that's your lot, everyone. Have a good Thursday. Chat to you tomorrow.